What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back to the old. I'm doing some June readings. I want to sign a Capricorn. So let's see what the messages are for Capricorn for June 2018. Alrighty then. What's Capricorn need to know for June 2018? What are the messages for Sun of Capricorn for June 2018? Hope everyone is doing well. I usually have these done earlier, but I'm a little bit late. We got this though, you know what I mean? So, manifesting something, you or this other person. Maybe you just want something stable. So that's why you're kind of focusing on grounding yourself. Maybe figuring out, you know, if you want to take this offer, maybe with a Taurus, figuring out what you want. There is definitely passion. There's trying to make a decision, maybe with kind of an immature water sign, or maybe it's just an immature offer. I think someone's going to be telling you something, but this person might be really stuck in their ways. That's why you guys always have these petty arguments. Maybe this is the way this person communicates, and then they'll just shut down. Virgo for some of you. And then they just sit there. Or you do. I think this person could be a Pisces, but I think they have a hard time making a decision. They don't really talk about their feelings very well, even though they are emotionally grounded. Maybe there's a cycle that needs to end here. Instead of standing on the fence, you know, making that decision, making that call about something you already know. Whether it's fear, whether it's toxic, maybe someone left, someone that, you know, you were really happy with, or this happiness is here, but someone's still kind of stuck in the past, or concentrating on a loss, maybe of a soulmate. So you're trying something new, maybe looking towards your future, trying to make plans, but it's stressing you out because maybe this person isn't really telling you how they feel, but it's because they're stuck in their head, and there's a lot of things going on inside of their head that they're not telling you. Maybe it's a Pisces, but I think this person knows what they want, and maybe they're going to be enlightened about it or coming into clarity, but that Strength card is here. You guys need to get over some shit. Maybe put some work into yourself in the situation so there can be a change of direction. You can have this new start and take this leap of faith, you know. Trust your intuition about what you put your time into. Could be a Sagittarius. Maybe it's about balancing things out so you can have this new start. There does need to be some healing. Maybe if you're disconnected from your feelings, maybe this other person needs to heal from something. That's why they're doing that. Someone's definitely stuck in their head about trying to make a choice, but at the same time, I don't think they're able to. Things do need to be weighed out and even. There might be some other people involved. I think someone from your past is thinking about you and is still really attracted to you. And there's victory, but someone's really just focused on their money and kind of doing their own thing, even though you guys both are waiting. This person has a lot of passion, but there's still a loss here. There's still a level of heartbreak. I think you're moving forward and you're going to be speaking your truth about what it is that you want or this person is, because there's a love offer here, but someone's going to be left out in the cold, or maybe someone was. It's about working together. You know, maybe there's something that needs to end there's the Tower card and then the Judgment. So making the call about, what is love? Like, what do you want in love? Because some of you were betrayed. You have the 7 of Swords, 9 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, 7 of Wands, 4 of Wands, King of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. Maybe some of you walked away, maybe some of you were betrayed, but you're still like kind of daydreaming a little bit about, this or this person is, because, there's a solid ground here, but there's some things that you need to move away from, some things that you need to get over. Maybe some of you are being defensive, or maybe some of you are trying to fight for this stable relationship. Maybe there's some things you need to move on from to get to that. Because I think that it's about thinking about things and then making that call, because it's about logic more than it is feelings in this, What do you want to put your time in? What do you want to invest in? I mean, I think you guys are on the right path. Maybe you're not able to move. Maybe this person isn't able to move on. Maybe this person needs to move on from something so that you guys can make this work, instead of being defensive, about whatever happened. Thinking about what it is you want and acting on it, because the Wheel of Fortune is going to turn in your favor. It could be money, but it's a stable ground. It's a stable relationship. I think that you know that, or this person knows that. Some of you are going to take a leap of faith, or some of you want to take a leap of faith. Try something new, start something new again. Maybe you guys are scared that, this could be something really good, and you're like, I don't know. Got like Runaway Bride. Because you know that there's something that you need to move away from, so you can have this. But it's hard, because I think, once you're betrayed, you're like, you question everything. Someone knows what they want. But there might have been some things that fell apart in getting to that, and they're not really, telling you how they feel. Maybe there's some things they're not saying to you, and it could have something to do with their own foundation. Maybe there's something in their life that didn't go right in their family. Maybe their foundation fell apart because things, it's like, it's moving forward after you make the decision about what you want. Some of you are dealing with somebody who didn't know what they wanted. They didn't know which way to go. I feel like they struggle with that because they're just an immature energy. And for some people, there was a breakup, there was arguments, there's some type of separation. So now you're left at this stage where you want to balance things out and make a decision. You want something grounded. You want things to be even, and I don't think they were before. Justice in reverse could have been dealing with a Libra, but things weren't even. There was some unfairness here. Somebody didn't take accountability for what happened, whether it was legal, whether it was, and that's what's leaving you stuck in your head with the 9 of Swords. Because someone has loss here, and this regret, maybe someone is still like feeling abandoned and not loved because of whatever happened. There's mixed feelings. Maybe someone was in an abusive situation before. Maybe there's a level of defeat or just not sure what this other person is doing because of how they talk to you. They're really immature with how they speak and their emotions. And so it's leaving you like in this sadness and this depression. And I don't think you want to fight anymore. I think someone wants to apologize, someone's trying to make things right, but I don't know, because, you know, in the past maybe they didn't know what they wanted, but now they do have clarity because they don't want to lose something, but they're still not really making a decision. You know, manifesting the right things so that you guys can have this new start that's growing and abundant and getting out of these feelings of depression and disappointment from this emptiness, from maybe you're dealing with someone who needs to tame themselves and whatever behavior they had. So someone had to leave. Someone just left, and it could have been arguments, but at the same time you want to try something new, but you're stuck in this not wanting to change because of the way things happened. Someone was really just, their emotions weren't in this, you know. There's passion, but someone's kind of trying to keep to themselves and try to find the right way to move forward. The Chariot, this is going to move forward, but there's some things that need to go in the process to rebuild better. Some of you are just afraid of that because someone was left out in the cold before, and I think that just leaves you at a point where, or this other person, where they're defensive because they were hurt before and they don't want to be alone, but they don't know which way to move forward because of all this depression, this insecurity, this feeling discouraged. So you're stuck in your head, or they are, you know. This brings stress, this brings clouded judgment because somebody's spending, you know, time on the wrong things, but at the same time maybe someone is working on themselves so that there can be an equal give and take. But there is a cycle that needs to end here so that you can make the right decision about your life. Maybe when it comes to someone who's in and out of your life and never really knows what they want, you know, sleeping around, but some of you are stuck because you don't know if you want to fight for this. You want to focus on getting above it, but there's always things in the way. There's always fights. There's always other people involved. And all it's doing is bringing stress and exhaustion, and you want to do something, but the way this person communicates is maybe they were deceptive, maybe they're manipulative, maybe everything they say is just all talk because they're immature. And it's about trusting your intuition, and I think that this person was drawn to you because you were the nurturing one. You were the one that was helpful. But it's about knowing what it is that you want and going to get it because you can. Making that decision. Having that structure so you can make the right choice. So things can be balanced instead of just disconnected with your feelings and not really happy because of all the blocks that are in the way, or someone who doesn't want to work with you, someone who wants other people around. So it just leaves you shattered, like there was something maybe in your family that happened. And there's victory here, but that's going to come with clarity later. But I think that it's about emotionally grounding yourself, and maybe this was just about sex for somebody. Lovers in reverse, maybe with the Gemini, but this is a breakup, this is divorce, this is arguments, regrets. Hangman in reverse, coming out of that. Maybe holding back and trying to stabilize themselves, you know, so they can, or you can be back to your true self, because someone is going to be apologizing for the things that happened so that there can be healing here. I think someone does want to come back after this lesson is learned. But at the same time, when they come back, they're still non-committal. They're not on the right, they want to do things their own way. They don't really, either they don't know how to, or they just don't, they want to do things their own way, and usually it means other people, because they need to move on, or maybe you need to move on so that you can be with the right person, because someone's definitely thinking about you, but you guys are kind of waiting, making that call, cutting out the things that don't serve you. Maybe working on your situation instead of trying to fix people who are just immature with how they are. They're just this immature energy that you put a lot of time into, but never really works out, because they're the ones that give up, because they don't know what they want. Maybe it's time to end that. Maybe it's painful, and that's why you don't really want to make that decision. But I think that you guys have good things coming, but there's a reason why someone's defensive and someone feels like they were betrayed, because you probably were. And I think you want to move away from that, but you still want a stable relationship. But I think when the right groundwork is built the right way, then this can happen. When you can get over some things in the past, when the right amount of time is put in by both sides. Putting the time in the right things so that you can have a stable ground and a stable relationship. Because this Wheel of Fortune is going to move. And I think that it's going to be a good ending, but there are some things that gotta go. Because I think you guys know what you want. You're just trying to make a choice. And there could be kids involved, or there just could be kind of this new or kind of immature love, and they want to talk to you, but every time they try to talk to you, it always ends up in petty arguments because of how someone is so stuck in their ways, whether it's you or them. There's always these mixed feelings. I think someone's grounding themselves to be able to have an equal give and take to have this new start, but you guys do need to move forward and communicate instead of being stuck. If you love them or they love you, it's time to just say it instead of running away or retreating because you're afraid of the change. If you were to get it all on the table, what would leave or what would stay, because someone was hurt and that's why they're pushing people away. Because maybe someone didn't work with you, but you guys need to work together, but I think someone's afraid of being left. And this love offer is here, but someone does need to be cut out so this can move forward. Because there's a lot of passion for somebody maybe from your past, but is it just you? Because I think that things need to be even. And, you need to put your time and effort into the right things instead of being defensive, so you can have this reunion. But maybe there was a reunion and then someone ran away because maybe the foundation needs some work, and maybe it's about starting over so you can be on the right path. Oracle cards for the sign of Capricorn for June 2018. Says, let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. Not being so stuck in your ways and so closed-minded about how you do things, how they do things. You know, being open to each other. Past life relationship, you've known each other before. Maybe you guys have been together before. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Go back to the innocent, you know, when you guys first met and it was fun and you guys laughed, and, you know, because laughing is important even when you don't want to laugh. Like, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. You know, letting someone get to know you instead of pushing them away or being defensive because of what someone else did. Because I think you guys just want something solid. You want a king. You don't want a page in reverse. You don't want a knight. You need a king. Some of you are going to go on a honeymoon. Maybe you guys want to go on vacation. Maybe there's a holiday you guys could spend together. Get to know each other. It says, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Let's see what your messages from your angels are for the sign of Capricorn for June 2018. Ooh. Alright, you guys have patience. Now is the time to learn, study, and gather information. Enjoy being a student because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action. You have Marlena. It says, you are confused and indecisive because you do not have enough information. Do research and seek expert advice before making a decision. There's some things that you need to think about before you do this. And there's some things like, it's important to remember you guys are still learning. Be open to learning new things and ways of thinking, because you don't, this is why you can't make a decision. This is why you're confused. And you have Leela. Spend time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. Your thoughts are going to bring shit into your life. So if your thoughts are focused on negative, what's going to come in? And that's why they want you to meditate and think about what it is you want to bring into your life and ask for help. And I think things are going to be okay in the broad picture, but there's someone who's just really scared, and that's because there's some things that you need to learn, and we can never stop learning, you know. That's important to remember, that there's always something that we can learn from somebody else, and it's important to be open to that, because we don't always think the same as the next person, and that can be hard to communicate with other people. And it really is about getting to know people and letting people get to know you, and then seeing, you know, if it would work, because you guys have had all these choices for how many months. You never know what the fuck you want, and most of the time you don't want the ones that are there, but you don't really cut them off because you're like, maybe, you know. But I think it's about time to make that choice. Figure out what you want. Think about it. Spend some time, you know, like they said. And then manifest that in. Positive thoughts. Have a good night.